Greetings, everyone. This is Moradi. I'm honored to be part of your session tonight at the Editor's Lounge. Uh, we have prepared a series of agenda and a program for you. Giving you some background, obviously, my colleague, Mr. David Vernon, is going to be hosting the event. He's going to be showing you some of these programs and the features that are available in the system. Foremost, due to the power fluctuations right now in the island of Puerto Rico, I'm recording this session just as a backup in case if I'm not available, also because of the time difference that we have this as a recorded session, and I will be broadcasting and giving you some of the general ideas of what we are doing and how we are doing this. Years ago, I came from Silicon Valley after I finished up with series of projects in UNLV and UCLA and USC. I'm working with some of the best and brightest mathematicians in the old days of video, where we had only analog line and the modem was our only tool. So we wanted to deliver about 30 frames per second, and that was a hell of a challenge. But we made some stride and achievement, and with that, I started founding a company called Netsters. Netsters started back in 2000, where actually there were no video in the marketplace, and the Web 1.0, call it at that time, was comprised of simple text pages and perhaps some JPEG images. So we were the catalyst to work with video, and we started from the video. And I always felt video and internet would have the ultimate marriage, because ultimately internet becomes the lowest and the most attractive cost of system for delivery. And now that we have gone through decades of maturity and learning about bandwidth and broadband and media and codec and bit rate and different various standards, now we have the ability to understand some of these variations. Since you gentlemen live with it all the time and you actually work with various format and editing, you are the actual what we call the hero of the industry, because behind the scene, without you, the storytelling will not be formatted and presented to the public as it is. So, one of the areas that we try to do with the video is looking at the video from different aspects and usage. And rather than just becoming content centric or bit rate or codec centric, through 18 years of evolution, writing various methodologies, algorithm, published patents, and so forth and so on, we have come to this level of what we call digital media room. This digital media room really was designed for a series of integrated services that we felt right now at this time there are many independent services. And if we could bring all of this into one umbrella under HTTPS, which gives us the security as the first layer, and then put in content under HTTPS standards and using HTML5 as a way to integrate with other services, then we have something possible. So with that in mind, we created this digital media room. And the digital media room really is comprised of many features. So with that, I'll show you some of the capabilities that we have in here as a general proceeding. For example, these rooms are equipped to allow several formats of different players, different bit rates, different frame rates, and so forth. They all work seamlessly. Like in here in the background right now, we are doing 4 live streaming from 4 corners of the earth, from Netherlands, from Italy, and from Romania, and from another part of the world that right now it's too dark. And then subsequently, we ultimately bring a unicast, livecast, multicast, simulcast ideas together around with the video collaboration. So what is happening is we are using a technology over the what we call traditional streaming, our on-demand or podcasting, that it basically adds another layer of complexity, but at the same time it gives us simplicity. And this simplicity was based upon the fact that we have these rooms called digital media room, that we can utilize it for various purposes, from collaboration to broadcasting content to advertising and monetization, reducing cost and being able to accommodate different services to different clients. So with that in mind, you can see in here right now a digital media room that is comprised of several areas. These areas are the top area that you see, the vertical areas that is available on both sides. The left side is actually designed to become an HTML5 editor. So if, for better lack of a term, you have any media content such as Vimeo or YouTube or any of the embedded codes that you like to share with your constituents in this room, you can host it right in here. So if I wanted to show you a video from YouTube, for instance, I can just click here, enlarge it.
The expert in online video communication technology, NetStairs presents the wall.
I can pause it and I can move to the next subject, for example, and talk about those variations. This is, for example, some of the services that we do on a weekly basis every Thursday. We can host it into live streaming, like, for example, you see from Bloomberg Terminal, right from these rooms. So you have capability of connecting to CDNs. We have already built this in a way that it connects to Akamai CDNs, to Limelight, and several other international CDNs. And we have also integrated this for some of the other players that we have in China. But one of the most important thing for us is the use and application of the technology for a niche market. So in the editing industry, we foresee this kind of tools and technology becomes really available for editors where they can collaborate, talk about the storyboard, meet with the directors, producers, the people that influence the editing functions, and so forth, and share those in real time with them. That cuts a lot of time on the travel. As we all know, living in Southern Cal, which I used to live for 18 years myself, 2 weeks in Florida, 2 weeks in California, I truly understand the aspect of traffic and trying to get there and so forth. So this kind of tool has been really designed to accommodate and make us more productive. And that is one of the reasons that in this presentation, you're going to see different clients and different projects that is taking place in different parts of the world, that it can help you to see how do you monetize this yourself as editors? How can you build a virtual community where this virtual community can transpose you and take you to new geo IPs for new markets, for new opportunities, collaboration to build new techniques, learning, teaching, mentorship, education, broadcasting. These kind of tools becomes extremely important. And along with that, then we build up tools that it can connect to your text chats that you have in here, the guests that you bring in, file transferring right in here, being able to do screencasting and sharing the screen with the audience, and also others can do the same thing. Connecting it to your Twitter account and being able to connect it to your Facebook pages and to your Instagram, and also having a whiteboard in here. A lot of times we need illustrations and we need collaboration. So when we want to do some illustration, this is pretty much like a full-blown Photoshop as a whiteboard that you can import images, you can edit them, you can draw illustration, you can change colors, and then you can draw different illustration as we are talking about. So all of these things are possible within this kind of environment. And in short, this digital media room also allows you to integrate to different services. For instance, I can simply, by pushing a button in here, hiding this, going back in here, changing my settings instantaneously, and being able to all of a sudden say, okay, we're going to change the room backgrounds into images, for instance. And then we show these images, and by acknowledging that we are not a robot, and acknowledge for the purpose of security and compliance, in less than 5 seconds, the background automatically changes. We have built over 40 some plus different standard players, including virtual player like virtual reality. So one of the things that happens in here, when you make the changes, your audience automatically experience in less than 5 seconds a change. and this change automatically allows them to see different formats based on your desire. Like, for example, making a static image, animated GIF, slideshows, video clips, video on demand, and so forth and so on, or putting a website behind it. As an example, to show you again a demonstration of how easy it is, we can simply go back in the background and change that into an iframe and then put, for example, HTTPS Wired magazine in here and acknowledge that yes, it is okay, and we are going to proceed. And with that concept again, after 5 seconds, it refreshes itself and it allows you to see this background with the new format. Now it's a full blown website. So if you have a website that is HTTPS and it's HTML5 compliant, you can make that available into this kind of a setting and give the users an ability to engage with your content, just like we are doing right now in here. So I can simply scroll down and go and look at the video. I can listen to it if I want to. I can increase the volume and then move forward to other subjects and so forth. So as you can see, all of these possibilities exist. The other things that we have done again to accommodate storytelling is to be able to put in the background a PDF file, for instance, where you can sit down in here and say, okay, I'm going to choose a file, and the file that I'm going to choose, for instance, is going to be let's say, something about NetStare's presentations, like a little PowerPoint, for example, with the Oswald, and I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to upload it. And then when I want to show that to the audience, now once it finishes and I make my changes, then I'll be able to present that slide presentation to my audience. So this kind of storytelling without really getting out of the site and going to 10 different locations, without any download, any app, any installation, respecting the user's privacy and so forth, it provides a diversity. So keep in mind that our focus has been always with media and being able to engage and entertain and interact and build the broadcasting and the communication and the collaboration together under one room that we call digital media room. We built this digital media room in a very complex engineering format. This format's what we call infrastructure, and the infrastructure we partner with major players such as Google, such as Amazon and Microsoft and IBM. And we also have the ability to interact and engage these rooms through a series of integration to artificial intelligence, to smart cities, to learning, e-learning, and many other variations. But as you can see in here, as we are demonstrating about a PowerPoint presentation and projects that we are doing all over the world, including in Peru, the concerts and the nightclubs that we have done, tons of those, both in Europe and in various parts of the world, showing that how the use of the technology is being used. Again, just giving you some additional feedback. You can add in here virtual reality. So if I go back here and change that, for example, to YouTube and take that completely out and put here a content that I can show you also a little sample of a virtual reality, you can see that you can use Facebook format, or you can use YouTube format, and being able to accommodate and do a streaming and bring the streaming right in here, or record it and accommodate right in here. So we are going to show you a little bit of a tidbit right from this sideline that you can see. This is a Vincent Van Gogh. If you have not seen it, it's really cool, but it's a sample of a virtual reality that I can simply move my mouse to the village and start getting the experience of where I'm going by simply moving up, down, going to the village, and experiencing everything the way that we want to. So these virtual realities, along with the live cast, multicast, simulcast, and this kind of feature has already been built into the system for you. And the idea is now we can take it into different bit rates and format, which we have done. We have pushed this all the way to 8K. but obviously it's subject of bandwidth, uh, the server configurations, the providers, and a lot of other variables that you all are expert at. So I just wanted to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to show you what we are doing in Digital Media Room. And the Digital Media Room is really designed for your own security, privacy, and at the same time, it allows you to set up several format of a media rooms, like one for open house or one completely private and secure that you can invite only people with the passcodes. So, or you can convert this room into a webinar for webcasting. So this kind of settings gives you the diversity of use, application, and working with us into open standards where we can bring more value to this equation. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed some of our presentation and demonstration, and we hope to see you and work with you in some of the projects that you're doing. Cheers for now, and take care.